kind of, played, or at least how their heroes have been instrumental to the momentum of the game. But Matu, he's been playing what I feel like is just such minimal mistakes. He's played such, so well on so many of his cores. It's just impressive.
Just very stable. In game 1 and in game 2, he was on point with his plays. In game 2 as well on Ursa, he was aggressive enough. Wasn't really going across the border way too much behind enemy lines, but was always there to dish out the exact amount of damage needed to take down the gyrocopter, in example.
I just don't know what Liquid will look like when Matu leaves, because he is so instrumental. Like, their drafts built around...
Oh, don't talk about this right now, please. Save for the moment. He's here.
Sorry.
That's the next TI conversation.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Okay.
He's still on our screens.
He's still on the screen.
Well, not right now. That's Boxy. But
okay. Matu's still here, guys. Let's pick some Ursa.
I also find it very strange in esports that people are like, yes, I'm retiring. But in normal sports, it's like, okay, I'm a little bit over the, I'm a little bit kind of down. I'm not in my prime anymore. And it's like, Matu, by the way, you're top 6.
Yeah.
You're really good. You could probably compete next year. But of course, Dota has been around for so long, and it takes years to master, and now such an effort to stay on top.
Yep.
These teams, have psychologists, they have training facilities, and I think it was, I believe Thunder Awaken actually picked up recently a team psychologist.
It's instrumental nowadays, especially when you think about TI. It is the competition that the Dota is obviously fundamental, but being able to keep your team in check, right? Of course, you can't really forget about it. There's the prize money, there's the prestige, there's like the fans, like all of this kind of boils down where when you think about other competitions, you can kind of like gloss it over a bit. You can kind of maybe put it aside, but this is the tournament.
Yeah. Other competitions feel very much like, okay, it's an esports competition. TI, it's just something different, because it's where true competitors, spirit comes out, and if you're going to win, you have to go up against everything, because it's just so much pressure. You've trained all year for this, the prize money, everything else. The competition is nuts.
If you're a Dota 2 player, this is literally your dream since the first competitive match that you have. Like, you're just looking towards TI.
I think other esports, players from look at the TI.
They also want to compete here, but...
Well, it looks like we're ready then. It's going to be game number 3. Let's go into the draft.
5 seconds remaining.
Team Liquid versus Thunder Awaken. Game 3.
Welcome back, and the teams are going to be ready to start drafting. So Blitz behind Team Liquid, and also Vintage will be behind Thunder Awaken. And one of the most important drafts, because this is the last game of this match during main stage. The winner of this will move into top 4, and they'll be playing next weekend in the finals, joining teams like Team Secret, Asta, and Tundra Esports. Who will it be?
We instantly see some adjustments coming from Thunder Awaken. They ban out the Brood Mother. Don't want to have anything to do with that hero. Meanwhile, Liquid, Dawnbreaker Tiny. Nothing has changed here. Nyx Assassin did go through, and Lash did go through. Now Thunder Awaken might even have to consider picking up that Nyx very early on, if not the Lash.
I think the nice thing, though, is because Thunder Awaken have first pick, it means that Liquid can't do what happened in game 1, where they took this Lash on the last pick of first phase and just kind of catch them with that. So if they do want to force it on Liquid, at least Thunder have that pick to respond. And this time, I'm just hoping that they don't get caught out in that trap.
Can't you Nyx Lash now if you're Liquid as well?
Yeah,
is that an option?
You can Nyx Lash, you can CM Lash, because of course we mentioned how the CM is the lane counter to Marcy. Lash, of course, good in the game. CM then enables the Lash rep the aura.
I just feel like CM won't be removed later on. You'll be able to snatch her up.
They can do, Lash plus anything right now, I feel. Or this is where, when it gets to a single game, you win it, you continue, you lose it, you're out. They might change
After
that.
Mickey's first game performance, I think we will see Lash.
I was
once again
offering a unlikely scenario.
You know what? This is my favorite thing about Dota is when it gets to TI, Blitz himself has spoken on this, as well as Puppy. It comes down to them as ideas. They're like, yeah, this team isn't got strengths and weaknesses. This team isn't better or worse. Everyone's come in with ideas, and it's all comes down to who has the best ideas.
Are they baiting the Nyx right now? Because not the strongest laner, and later on can be hunted down and killed off by the Tusk, right? If you poke yourself a little bit too far out where sentries are, Tusk can always catch you.
I feel like it's near, not impossible, but Thunder Awaken hasn't presented any flexibility. Actually, I guess they've done offlane Marcy, but then if they are, it's now offlane Marcy for Nyx. It just doesn't feel like a strong opening when you compare it to a Tusk and Leshrac. We've seen how Nyx, back in the old days, sure, is a big counter to Leshrac, but now with how quickly teams play around this Leshrac.
Yeah, we've seen him lose today even to a Leshrac.
So I feel like if you're Thunder Awaken, you need to counter it in a different form just to keep your draft a bit more open. And we mentioned the sim already. The likelihood of Thunder Awaken banning a Crystal Maiden now in the second phase is
Very
quite
likely.
low, and it simplifies Liquid's opening to next phase because you can just go, CM, boom, please, draft into us.
Yeah, last game I think it was Liquid that banned the CM versus Thunder. And
They got the Enigma themselves. Is this... Okay, so last time we saw this, Winter Wyvern was banned out versus Insania. That's something that we might see once again. It's pretty neat with Lash as well, right? Love the crowd.
I'm glad they didn't take the Nyx. I just don't think it fits into them as a team. Like, I want to see Matthew being the one playing the Marcy. I don't think they should throw Marcy into offlane. It just, I think changing everything too much, especially in a game where your TI life is on the line, is just not their style. I just want them to just pick their comfort. I think that's something that LGD did in not the last series, but the one before. They were saying, yeah, when it comes down to it, you just have to say, we don't care about losing. Play your comfort, play what makes you happy.
They did play, Nyx before on 4, but like you said, Matthew probably will be playing that. Sacred, I'm actually much happier with him playing the Enigma than the Tidehunter. I feel that he has had way more impact on the Enigma throughout the games that we have watched.
I mean, it's just it's the TI hero, right? If you get to Blink, you get to BKB. As long as there is that innate cancel, you're going to be able to hit some of these clutch holes.
Yeah. They didn't ban out everything, though. They banned out the Silencer. There are still heroes that are pretty decent versus the Enigma and that can be picked on position 5.
Yeah, you still got the Enchantress because you take over the island and can fight. You got the Winter Wyvern for the defending tower, and then the Winter Curse throughout the game. You still got, again,
Don't
you mentioned the
forget
Crystal.
Pango!
There's still Pango. No, 100%. Like, Pango's not been banned. Like, I could easily see Pangolier being important for Liquid second phase, Crystal Maiden being important for the second phase. Like this.
We're just going to get the exact same game. Game 1, drafts all over again.
I mean, game 1 was a little bit saved by the Lesh on Mickey, but I felt that was sometimes Thunder Awaken pushing a little bit too hard into the enemy jungle. So one of the differences we see, despite looking at game 1 and from game 2, is Mickey on Lesh. How does that play into the early game Blizzard?
I feel like now that the emotions have settled, if we do see a repeat of game 1, Mickey on Lash will do even better. That's how I see it, at least, because they made some crucial overextensions in that game 1 a couple of times, which did cost them the game eventually.
And this is the same setup Liquid have done before. In game 2 of OG earlier today, they had Lesh, Tusk, CM, and then they rounded out the draft with the Bloodseeker and the Broodmother. Very much Thunder Awaken, they need to make sure that I think they just need to be ready to be defensive a little bit. Sure, their nature of style was to be strong in lanes and to be killing, but when Liquid's already presented this opening, you need to just have layers of fighting at objectives.
I don't know, I saw that last game. They were really defensive, maybe a little bit too much. Do you double down on that in game 3?
When I say defensive, I mean just have
maybe in a different way.
Yeah.
In a way that works, in a better way.
But like Undying's decent. You can fight around objectives. Oh, okay. We've not seen a lot of Pudge recently. Like, oh, there you go, look at Panda Boo. He's getting excited for the Pudge pick. Again, Pudge is this hero that you can buy the Vanguard or a Hood. You get the Ags, you're super tanky. You can basically be what Leshrac is for Liquid. The Pudge becomes for Thunder Awaken. You throw them into the middle of the fight and you absorb that damage.
Are you inviting a Lifestealer perhaps here? Yeah.
I want to see a hero that either can kill the Tombstone or helps the team disengage in these fights. You either need to get away from the Tombstone or you need to be able to kill it and dictate where your fights are being taken, because Thunder Awaken, they just want to throw down a black hole with a Tombstone on top or play around some cliff, hook you in. They have ways to displace you between hook and dispose on the Marcy. So
is it going to be Pango Lifestealer, you think, potentially?
It's an option. I'm thinking Sniper is also in the pool still, right?
Sniper's decent. Like Death Prophet offlane is pretty decent. You pair a mixture of
I go with Lifestealer. James, you're on fire, man.
Literally, he's on fire. Please,
He's the
someone
best.
How many
get an
times have we
extinguisher.
seen Matu lifestealer hit, hit
quite a lot.
Pudges? You know, it's quite telegraphed. But it seems like Thunder Awaken are quite happy to go against it, right? Because now you're looking for an answer to the Enigma. Because you can still lock down a lifestealer for a little bit. There will be time.
They can lock down him a lot.
Exactly, right?
They have dismember, like, as well, these late games, when it goes late, the Pudge gets a refresher too, and then you have 2 bites. So Liquid need an offlaner, or their Tusk needs to buy a Lotus Orb so that they can just put it on Matu and let him go wild in these fights.
But also an answer now, I think, to the Enigma. Because it's a backup lockdown for Matu in these fights.
Yep.
When you look at the statistics of Pudge versus Lifestealer in pro pubs, this is like 8K plus games, Pudge has like a 58% win rate against Lifestealer. Just the fact that you get so tanky so quickly and join the fights, Lifestealer's always playing a little bit of catch up in regards to what item you bring.
Yeah, but that's also the nature of pubs, is that you're constantly hunting heroes, and Pudge early
That's
on.
Thunder Awaken.
dominates, right? Yeah, definitely is. But they do also have a ton of BKB piercing lockdown, like Sheepo mentioned earlier. And I love the Slardar. Actually, they're the ones that ban out the Slardar. They just don't want to play against this old school ultra aggression with Lifestealer constantly being infested in the Slardar, jumping the backline, something that we haven't seen that much up to what, today and yesterday.
10 seconds remaining.
Also the puck banned out, so they're literally getting rid of all these infest bombs.
Yeah, on Thunder Awaken side, I do want to see a little bit more kill threat coming out. Right now, they don't have a playmaker outside of Marcy just leading, or they have to land a hook.
Is Lina an option for them? You just get that mid, you're playing into a Lesh. It feels like such a natural counter to the Lesh in the lane. Might be a little bit difficult versus the Tusk,
and it's banned out,
it's banned out instantly.
She would have been really nice for sure. Something with just kill threat on Lesh would be so nice, because your Marcy can just rotate at any moment with a TP or dies and then refills the bottle, and just that jump onto Lesh, it's so easy to kind of displace him and kill him. And you have these really nice ways to fight around the runes. Like if they want to commit in on Liquid, you have that tombstone that you can place if you bring both supports. I'm just assuming that they're going to want to do a lot of fights around mid because they have such aggressive supports on both sides.
Are they just going to give Dark Matter or another Spirits? Yeah,
Yeah, I would say Spirits. It's like the Storm or the Ember, just something to cut into the backlines, and you need a hero that actually opens up the vision of the fight so that the Undying knows I need to Tombstone, or the Enigma has that black hole. Marcy has someone to play with as well, so yeah, Thunder Awaken going for the Spirits. And now, for Liquid, most likely the offlaner.
Sai Pango.
I still kind of like Death Prophet. I don't know, we haven't seen it a lot, but just a Death Prophet into Undying Pudge should fare pretty well. It gets super tanky, and it's not a traditional like enabler for Lifestealer, but it just gives.
With the Siphon, it's
people-
always kind of nice.
people
Versus the
there, yeah.
Undying, it's also really nice. With the Tusk, you're
And it would
strong
be a
in the
Lotus
lane.
Bio.
Yeah, this is what I'm
But James said Pango, so I have
Yeah,
to
it
go
has
with
to be
Pango.
Pango.
Has to be Pango, yeah, you're right.
It won't be now.
I mean, I love how they play Death Prophet, because Zai's really good as well about around fighting the Roche Pit as DP, because he'll just use his body to sort of split up the enemy team and get in there to make space for the Roche to be taken, or for his team to find the right targets they want. He's great at being just like a
And you're a
bait.
problem that needs to be answered. Like even a solo black hole on you is.
What about Clockwork?
That's a little bit crazy, all right, relax.
Okay, James, relax. Relax, James.
And it's Pango.
He was right.
James knows.
You should have just.
Don't doubt yourself, man. Don't doubt
You
yourself.
guys made me doubt myself because you
No,
know,
we agreed with you.
it was heartbroken. But anyway, who do you think's got it based off the draft?
I kind of favor Liquid a little bit, just because the Pango will now be the answer for the Enigma throughout the entire game, and they just have these heroes that they have excelled on immensely throughout TI so far. And even Blitz, look, he's now going player to player, giving them the little motivational speeches and whatnot.
Showing off the arms as well. The
Look
guns.
at my muscles, I went to
Yeah.
the gym this morning. Oh, what? Oh, everyone gets a handshake, but Zai gets a fist bump. Don't read
Zai
into it
also
too
goes.
He was upset with Game 1 performance.
much. Yeah, don't miss a swashbuckle on this black hole. Bye!
Yeah, that did happen a few times in Game 1. But yeah, so you're sorry, to wrap up, you're
I really
in
like
favour?
Thunder Awaken's draft.
You like
with
Thunder Awaken?
The amount of like BKB piercing stuff they have. You're way too reliant on Pango
I
to
see.
cancel them later.
I see Lesh. I see Mickey. I'm all in.
That's fair.
It's gonna be a close game.
Oh, it certainly will be, and it will be the last game of the main stage. But before we go into the match, we're going to have a post-draft interview with Blitz.
Blitz, thank you so much for taking time for us once again. Very interesting draft here that we see coming out, but I did want to talk to you about that first game one. Seemed like you guys should have had that one in the bag. As Seb said, the games that you should win are the hardest ones to lose. How did you guys recover? How did the team talk to each other to have a fantastic game two?
I mean, I don't think you should really win any game. They're a really, really good team. You got to close out games here at TI. I think it's pretty disrespectful to just imagine like, oh, we're supposed to win that. Like, they did all the right things. Full respect to them. They deserved it. Absolutely. Really good job by them.
All right, fantastic. Such great sportsmanship that we've seen so many times. I wish you the best of luck in your last game of the day, and we will throw it straight to the game. Let's head to our casters.
Thunder, they managed to take that game one in spectacular fashion. Lightning in the hands. Afterwards, we're at the pop-off from their coach. Respect SA, you shits. Thunder in the mouth. But it's easy to have that kind of pop-off after that game one. How do you do it after that game two, which was probably a demoralizing loss?
Yeah, that one was maybe a rougher game to lose than the first one, because now you're going into a game three and you had all your momentum disrupted. You really got controlled on the map. It felt very clinical. I always thought those types of games can be, they're rough to come out of, and already Matthew.
Somebody give him an out. He's going to be able to leap away. Ooh. Just Marcy things, everybody.
That's a nice way to start this game off.
Yeah, it's got to feel good. It was almost certainly a first blood that was going to be given away, but Matthew gets away ever so barely. And it looks like Thunder, Liquid still want to have a clash here. Zai is spotted out because he's going to go for the hook onto the bounty rune. Is anybody going to tank it? Yeah, they're going to just chase him away, make sure there is going to be no hook. So that is going to be 3 bounty runes minimum for Liquid. There's still an awkward one sitting there in the top river area, but Thunder, they may have not given away the first blood, but it is going to be a rough start for them.
They're going to challenge Pandem here, try and keep him off the lane a little bit. Not the worst idea. Get some efficient trading out before Undying gets there and can zone the Tusk in the one-on-one. But of course, Matthew, never far.
That was clean. Boxy, not even taking a moment to adjust. He's been landing some great shards all, well, I was going to say all day long, but really all tournament long.
I remember from that game one, they tried to dodge this Enigma Lifestealer matchup, and obviously they had a better matchup to throw it into, but this time they could have done the same thing. They could have thrown Pango in the side lane, could have tried to go for that. Instead, they're just going to man up, take the matchup, because they want this Pango mid. They want the Ember Pango matchup. They do not want to put the Leshrac there, which will force Lesh to this 3 position on Zai. Perhaps a little farm parity. I say that, and every time I've seen an off-lane Lesh at this tournament, it doesn't seem like it gets any lower farm priority, so maybe not too much overthinking in terms for Liquid, but maybe just a comfort thing. Mickey just wanted this Pango mid. It's a nice melee on melee matchup, and Pango getting more farm in this game is pretty nice, right? There's not a lot to control him outside of that black hole, especially if he gets to like Basher Ag's territory.
They're trying to secure range creeps, and nice bailout from Bakaz. So you watch that, they denied their own range creep, and then he had to hop in to secure the range creep for the side of Thunder, but it did put him in a little bit of danger. Fortunately, Bakaz, it's a nice hook to bail him out ultimately.
I also want to say, like, I felt this draft picking this Pudge was pretty ballsy. Like, you're in a game 3 elimination, your whole year on the line, and you go to Pudge carry. This hero can show up in the biggest ways, but he can also flounder a bit. Especially when you have that Marcy, it's not a sidekick partner. So you're losing some value there. You can throw it on the Ember. Feel really great about that in the mid game, but it's not like last game where they had the Marcy gyro. You're just powering up a monster. On the flip side, if Bakaz is feeling it, you got to go with it, right? And I think on Dire, Matu was feeling this Lifestealer. We have seen him pop off on this hero over and over this tournament. He's not afraid to play it into the Enigma here.
Yeah, you had some suggestions. You know, I called out Lifestealer immediately. You said, I actually prefer the Ursa. What do you think the difference was there between those two carries? Because either one would have been a great choice against Pudge here.
Sign from God? I don't know. You know, he felt it in his heart. I think if you feel a hero, you can always pick 10 heroes in a position in a draft, and they can probably be executed. But if Matu's feeling the Lifestealer, it's one of his classic heroes from way back in the day. Could be his last game. Gotta go with what you feel is right.
Over the splitter. It's only gonna be able to land on the Marcy, and they got the hook onto Zai. Bakaz, close range, gets some serious damage onto that Leshrac. Both teams are gonna limp away. No first blood just yet, 3 minutes in.
Gotta be careful of the sticks in this type of skirmish lane. Boxy up to 8 charges, Bakaz holding on to his 10. Do not want to get over baited into a tower, into the hook.
Over, they're gonna
round 2.
Into Bakaz.
Nice shard.
Beautiful shards, my God. The hook blocked by the range creep, and they do manage to get first blood as Marcy falls first, and with the hook on cooldown, because it's going to take a lot of damage. They're going to go for it. The stick is going to be used, but underneath the tower, they've got the creeps to be able to tank up. They get both the kills in this lane. Team Liquid, this is a huge victory, not just for those kills, but look how many creeps are dying without anybody to collect.
Yeah, Matthew's going to try and collect Zai a little bit, but no aggro to bank on. Trying to get body blocks.
Oh, dodges the split.
Awkward shard.
By Matthew, because it's going to come back in soon. Can he hit the hook? This is so important.
Again.
Hit by the snowball. If he lands
He's got to hit this.
The mind games, which way is he going to go? Left or right? Around the tree. Because they're
monster. The biggest hook of his life.
Honestly, it felt like that hook was so important just because this lane was going so poorly for them. A big W, I think, for just the emotional tie here of Thunder.
Perhaps the biggest hook of the tournament, the morale boost that comes out from that. If you miss it too, you just feel demoralized. The Bakaz, Zai putting on his dancing shoes, but Bakaz a little bit better. That said,
makes for a good
Boxy's
partner,
not done.
This is not a dance at all. This is a weird do-si-do where it looks like Bakaz is going to be run down by Zai and Boxy with no help coming from the Marcy.
And no teleport for 25, 10-second differential there. He cannot get back the lane. The lane's up super far as well. I don't even know if they can keep playing this. This is just a disaster of a safe lane for Thunder. Yeah. Especially for a hero like Pudge, who you do not want to lose early XP on. He's not some super flash farmer until he gets to the later point with the Ags, and you're in a rush to get there where you really accelerate.
The pump fakes, there's so many of them. The mind games are extreme, and he gets Zai.
Zai had a good laugh about that one.
Yeah, he did. It's good to see that even under the pressure, a reminder, this is the last game before we head to the finals, before we secure our final 4 teams. One more is going there, and it's either Liquid or Thunder. All right, here's see the team still having some fun.
Here's trialing now, just to try and keep the Pudge in the lane. They're going to bring the Undying.
Barely off there.
No
that would have been a great hook into a tombstone setup.
Remember, Thunder not too pressured by this. The Enigma can be a little self-sustaining. That said, Matthew will choose to go up here anyway. See if he can maybe pressure Matumba, try and harass him a little on an overextension, a missed rage.
6-minute power runes are coming up here, and looks like the mid lane matchup has gone pretty well for Dark Mago. He's up in the CS. We'll see whether or not he fares well in the rune battle and the luck of the draw. Though it actually may not be luck. The crystal
securing it.
Insania is here to secure it. He's going to grab the haste.
That's a good one
from Mago.
No slight steal attempt, and very nice rune steal from Liquid. That would have been a huge rune for this Ember in the early game. Now he's going to transfer it into some aggressive potential.
Does have the rebound away, so they're not going to chase after him.
Meanwhile, Pandamu, Undying, very much dying down here. This lane has been an absolute train wreck for Thunder down here.
Yeah, they tried to switch it up by having the Undying down there because I guess with the Marcy, they have better kill potential on just feasting on Insania and killing him over and over again, but that last step had to hurt for the Undying because he dropped the Tombstone as well. That's just an extra half a hero bounty.
I mean, if you remember that first game, it was Bakaz getting the first blood, getting out to the huge lead. Zai shut down.
Yeah.
This is the flip script entirely. Zai is way out ahead in this game on an offlane hero that maybe shouldn't be getting this much, but when he does, just takes huge advantage of it, going the lightning build. This is a killer Leshrac here. He's not going to mow down the towers, but he's mowing down your life. Thunder already having some issues to address in this early game. Puts more weight on Dark Mago's shoulders to maybe make some rotations, try and get Bakaz back. Pandamu, he hasn't even been laning, he's just been fighting for his life.
Boxy's going in deep here, but there's going to be some reinforcements. Dark Mago's going to show up with the help of Matthew. A splitter to try and create some opening for Boxy to get away. Doesn't land, so Boxy should be chased down here. He's going to play a little game of Ring Around the Rosy, but it's not fair against that sleight of fist. Can't dodge that.
I mean, these are necessary turnarounds. You cannot let your Undying get abused and pushed out of areas this much. Especially when you're going to try and contest runes here, which it looks hard for Thunder at this point. Usually you want to contest a 6 and 8 with Marcy. She's so strong in these early skirmish fights with sidekick and rebound. Especially with a hero like Ember. No spirit here wants to give up the runes. We're already seeing Boxy come back in mid for the repill. This is for the 8-minute, or maybe more.
Had the stick charges. Needed that for the mana to be able to jump away.
Tower is under attack.
Dark Mago will get it. Illusion. Not super useful, but not the worst. all of this said, all of this skirmishing, it does create a one-on-one scenario between Enigma and Lifestealer, and I think Sacred's pretty happy with this.
Yeah.
Again, he has a very fast Vlads and a very fast 6.
See if they can burst inbound. They have so many
Let's
Eidolons
have
with the
Infest.
black hole. The Infest is up. And what? I thought I heard that Infest sound go off, but it looks like just a tiny little time was left. We're gonna jump into that creep.
I think he heard it too, but hearing it, not the same as getting it off.
Yep.
And that's just a perfect rotation, perfect timing to use this black hole to extra Vlad's damage, maybe securing that kill. Sacred off to a very good start, and I feel like Enigma is one of his heroes this tournament, whereas that Tide is not. I mean, we're looking at the stats. I think they have a 0% win rate with that Tide, whereas this Enigma is way higher, so you're not in the same scenario as last game, where you're getting your map pressured super early and you have to react. Sacred is going to be able to take control of this game.
Nice pull back into the tombstone. Woo. Lock him down, and Zai. We have an early grave here underneath the tier 1 tower. Dark Mago looks like he tried to come in, clean up, and does in fact get the crystal baited. And hefty amount of damage with the Orb of Corrosion. That physical is chipping away at Liquid. Both mid-game and Boxy will have to retreat.
They even TP'd the Enigma. I think this Enigma TP ended up being a mistake just because they thought they were going to overextend into a fight.
Yeah.
He doesn't end up being there. He doesn't even have Black Hole. I honestly think this was just a misread by Sacred here. He would much rather be top, already taking that tier 1. He's going to have to make the long trek now.
Part of that is the pressure of TI, right? We always say that teams are more likely to group up, stay together for team fights. Mickey already dropped it pretty low here as he got the bottle charges. Yes, nice hook over as the shard plays against Boxy here for the roll in from Mickey. It's trying to keep the chain stun onto the Ember Spirit, and they do manage to get it with a snowball afterwards from Boxy. A worthy trade-off because was not able to get that kill on the Tusk fast enough, it seems.
Abusing that Tombstone cooldown. Again, this move is even more punishing because Enigma is still walking back top after that TP bottom. So you don't get all this top pressure. This tower would be far dead by now. Instead, you're going to have Pakaz go up here. Even more awkward in a way. You're just abandoning this bottom tower. Didn't get the fight you wanted. Liquid making some good fast moves. They were pretty low for that engagement. The slights. This is an Ember that can go to town this game. A lot of physical damage coming out versus the low armor.
Yeah, certainly.
And he is playing with him down here.
Scott, Magic Wand charges. Dark Mago, is he going to go after it? He's going to go for the Remnant's Light. They need to be able to stop him. Boxy, he does just that. Okay. All right. Insania is dead, and now Boxy? Nah, let's not chase into that tower. That might be a little much. Thunder are winning both in that lane, and they're taking the top lane at the same time. So,
yep, 10-minute catapult. They'll finally convert on it. Looks like Mickey wants to defend. No ult for 7. Tower's just dead.
Yeah, it's going to die anyway. They didn't have the Rolling Thunder to roll out
Boxy
and catch. Maybe they stick around. I don't know, this was not the clean move that I think Liquid wanted it to be. I think they wanted to be able to catch them while they were taking that tower, but cooldowns and TPs not fast enough.
Yeah, both teams overreacting a little bit for these safe lane towers. Not the team fight they were looking for on either side. Something to mention is, sure, this Leshrac had an amazing start. Zai is in a great position to go Bloodstone, try and carry this game. But so is Dark Mago, and this Ember is just going to shred the low armor of this Leshrac for a long time. It's going to be hard for Zai to just run in and assert his presence in this game. He doesn't have that Frost armor like from game 1 that was powering up the Mickey Leshrac to just run in and tank all the physical damage. There's a lot to run into. Tombstone, Black Hole, Pudge with his ult, the Ember Slights. This is a game, it's going to go the distance here. No team is going to get run over in this early game. More skirmish fighting for 12 minutes.
Locks him in. Panda doesn't have his level 6, but he does have a tombstone he could drop here. And they do have Matthew to be able to pull him over to the side here. And it hates Dark Mago. He sees his opportunity. He really wants to pick up all of these kills. Unfortunately, they will not be able to get Mickey as he uses the Rolling Thunder to get out. But still, 2 support kills and Rolling Thunder on cooldown. That probably means mid is free for the taking.
Extra gold for your Pudge. You get some flesh heaps.
Yeah.
Pretty good value out of that haste rune. Not able to deny it that time. And he's even going back towards bottom. I think this tower will die. Zai does eventually get some points up in this Edict.
He's going to get caught, though, on his way out. He can't commit to it with a glyph. And he probably knows the rotation's coming over. Dark Mago, he's going to show up. But there's going to be a snowball turnaround here. They get the chain stun on out and see if they can kill the Undying fast enough. No other spells are going to go out. Dark Mago now has to retreat. Fortunately for him, Zai is out of mana. Not like they have the stuns either way. to stop Ember Spirit.
That tier 1 does go down, so Zai gets what he wants, gets to go back to base. Still extremely farm in this game. It's going to be a very fast Bloodstone. Not a lot of early BKBs for Thunder outside of this Ember one. So he's going to be healing. You can infest him too, power him up even more.
Yep.
Downside between this Lifestealer and Ursa pick, which they were probably deciding, is unlike last game, 1 or 2 kills instantly led into that Roshan from Matumba. The Lifestealer, a bit slower in that regard. He's got to farm up into this Armlet, into the Deso, whatever he wants to go. Matumba goes this Shard a lot of times too.
Yep.
So you get the extra open wounds, which is going to be decent this game against the Pudge.
Allows him to play a lot more active, right?
Yep. And maybe that's also part of the reason of putting this Pango mid. Pango mid can scale a lot harder and a lot more reliably than that offlane Pango who's playing more of a utility role.
True.
So already, Diffusal up for Mickey. Orb of Corrosion, he's pretty good to go. Nice window here for Liquid to try and hit this mid fight. Bloodstone online.
And if his rune Boxy wants to stop it, he picks it up. But they have the Sentry to be able to spot him out. But the Rolling Thunder is coming in through. They do manage to land off of the Sleight of Fist. He has to jump away to the Remnant, but he can come back in from the side here with the zombies chasing after Zai. Sacred, he did not feel it. He thought about going up there, I think, and throwing down the black hole, but ultimately calls it off.
Oh, there's so much poke being played around by both lineups. The slight change that can put you in a position where you're stuck under Tombstone, maybe a hook comes out. On the Dire side, you have these Pango swashbuckles just burning everybody's mana on top of Crystal Maiden nukes. Really a game of cat and mouse in these river fights. You overstep a little bit, you're gonna get roped into a situation you don't want to be in very fast.
Because now up to second in the net where Chart is closing in on that all-important Aghanim Scepter. It's the beginning of the Pudge carry that takes over the game. Will he be able to be strong enough, though, to deal with the lifesteal? I mean, another ballsy idea of going for this Pudge in the first place. Liquid was in this exact situation against Entity. They had to play up against a carry Pudge. They went for the lifesteal. The lifestealer proved to be a super good counter to the Pudge.
In familiar territory, yeah, absolutely. And if you remember that game, at a certain point, this Pudge just runs out of the physical damage to deal with him. The upside is you have Ember and Enigma to help deal with this lifestealer in the later portion. So I don't think you can just always rely on Matumba to be able to man up and cut through those flesh heap stacks. True 5v5 game.
Wounds. Matthew should be able to jump away with the help of Mago's positioning. They try and get the shards on out here. They get some vision. Really good chains on the 2 supports. Mago, is he going to commit for this one? He's going to be frostbitten, though. Into the snowball. This is kind of awkward with Matumba then right on top of him. He gets another slide out, but does he have a remnant to jump to? He does, but it's right next to him. Oh, what a play from Matthew. Picks him up, takes him away from that split earth that surely would have been his death.
Beautiful dispose, bailing his core out there. That was a strong commit from Dark Mago. He's still 1 point in his chains. And that makes the skirmishes easier for Liquid. I mean, imagine these chains are level 3, level 4. Suddenly those types of catches just become brutal.
Yeah.
So Liquid trying to up the tempo, push this mid tower, double damage on Mickey as well. Ooh. Now you really have to watch out for these swashbuckles. They're gonna get 2-shot on some of these backliners.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Let Edict do the work.
Really trying to push this one. Thunder, there's no way they're just going to give this one away for free, right? But because he still needs to heal, another round of Edicts is coming in soon. They really, I think, would love to be able to play with this Pudge as soon as he's healed up, but tower is going to fall. Thunder.
Liquid slightly too fast. Yeah. Link for Enigma is also flying out right now. Maybe if he has that, maybe if they have a glyph, they can take that fight. But nothing aligning at that exact moment for Thunder.
It's actually like the difference of even just 20 seconds. It could be that Thunder is able to take a fight around their tier 1. It could be very different with that Blink dagger.
I think they're going to look for it now, right? You have Max Tombstone, 2 smokes on Pandamu, Blink on Sacred. This is a huge window for Thunder to try and hit.
And if they win, Mago, he can get his BKB as well. The hook is going to miss. The shards catching 2 as well. There's going to be the roll in. Mago, he's being controlled up. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. It's going to be able to hit Sacred. Oh, they're turning around. Bounce back. Chain done it. Oh, no. Thunder getting run over now by Liquid. As all of the heroes will surround this Pudge. Can they help out? Can the supports? What a rebound. Stun, 2-man stun. But Tumbleman getting low. The Bakaz Pudge lives long enough to be able to get 3. But the supports will be cleaned up in the end. Boxy even showing up off of a buyback to ensure that that fight is indeed done and dusted. Liquid will take it, but what a turnaround there. It could have been so much worse for Thunder.
I mean, Mickey destroyed that fight with the Rolling Thunder. No black hole in sight. They also anchored the fight away from that cliff where high ground Tombstone got dropped.
Yep.
Imagine they're all on top of that during that entire sequence. Just a little too far for Thunder, and of course the hook missing on Zai gives him a free fight. He's in the middle of everybody doing the most damage by far. I'm going to carry this damn game. Step aside, boys.
Man, this looked like it was just...
This looked like a wipe for free.
This jump in from Matthew, beautiful. 2-man stun, 3-man stun actually, that finishes off 2 supports. And then they get the cleanup on Matumba Man as well, barely.
That was a rebound from hell right there. And that salvaged a lot of that early game. You get wiped there, it's a very different story. That's why Mickey, happy with what they got, but he'd rather survive through it. And of course, so much gold out of that fight for Kaz in a situation that otherwise was losing.
Yeah.
The same thing for Zai. He is having quite a game on this Leshrac, man. He's gonna have a fast BKB. In fact, he's pretty much gonna have it after this camp.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Which means, what damage is being dealt to him during the BKB duration?
Yeah, they really, when you pick up that punch carry, magic damage
the
carry.
Downside. You have to be able to survive through his damage. Not happening at the exact moment. Later on, that's a possibility, but for now, he is a god among mortals, unless he gets caught in black hole.
Yeah, even then, like these channeling spells, Dismember, Black Hole, if he gets off BKB, Bloodstone, I just don't think they cut through it, no matter what. I think he just probably heals up too much.
Radiant's top tower is
So
under
they got to be
attack.
careful about this Leshrac. They need to be able to find anchor fights, as you said, around this Tombstone. Big repositioning tool. The hook is going to be all important to make that happen.
Good hook could just win or lose the fight.
Oh, the roll-up! Quick reaction from Mickey. That was very smooth and
Nice hook.
should have gotten the kill on Matthew, but Hook is going to be able to bail him out for now. But they are going to be running into this Tombstone to take the team fight. Zai is in deep, and he used most of his BKB to do damage to nothing.
He's out of
It's going to run out now. They're going to turn. They're going to go for the Dismember here, but the punch is low. They've gotten the Black Hole, the Dismember on the Lifestealer. They're controlling both the cores at both times. Zai's going to fall up here. Mickey, he's going to have to carry through. The hook finishes off a Matumba Man. He needs a little bit more damage because lives through it all. Triple kill for him. It's Liquid to fall this time.
That overextension in the Tombstone, you have to be careful. This punch can tank a lot. Zai just not enough juice in the tank, runs out of mana. I mean, he's dealing the damage, but he can only do so much. Matumba just didn't get to do anything in that fight, really. He runs in, gets dismembered. There's a black hole right behind him.
I mean, Thunder played that so beautifully.
Oh yeah, the hook to save the Marcy as well, right? If that whole sequence doesn't happen, I mean, because he rots and kills the creep wave so he can hook his guy out, which forces the fight deeper into Midnight Pulse, into Tombstone.
Never refuse gold.
The worst anchor you can ask for if you're Liquid here.
And look at him just kind of keeping him around this Tombstone in this play right here. I love this. The Black Hole on Zai, at the same time the Dismember on Matumba Man. Controlling both the cores like that, stopping all the damage and keeping Pakaz alive to do the raw damage needed.
And Mickey is close to cleaning him up here too. If there's one player who has managed his HP better than almost anyone else in this tournament, it's gotta be Pakaz. From the Bloodseeker heals to his Pudge game.
Oh, Pakaz! What a read by him. That is a smoke failure for Team Liquid.
This guy is in the zone right now.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Might take this entire Liquid squad to bring this guy down.
You see what Pakaz has in his backpack? He's got that nether shawl, which is usually a crazy good item for Pudge. But at the same time, he doesn't necessarily want to be lowering his armor too much against that Lifestealer.
I think he's going to swap it in for the fight. He's using the whip to get around a little bit, get some regen. He'll swap it in. Yeah, and he's got BKB flying out. So now that Leshrac damage is not going through to as many heroes as they want, right? BKB on Ember, BKB on Pudge.
The Roshan pit, how low is Roche? They're going to come out, they're going to fight, they're going to get a really good Rolling Thunder, bouncing through the entire team, but Pakaz standing strong with the BKB is going to be able to melt through Matumba Man. No, he managed to get the infest off. He's actually inside through, and with the Enigma now dead, so much of their team fight is gone. Pakaz being run down, now the pop out from Matumba Man, saved by a sliver of health, stays alive. Oh, he can slide it down. Hey, Dark Mago picks up 2 at the end, but it was still an abject disaster team fight for Thunder otherwise. And back into the Roshan pit they go without Lifestealer. Can they do it? Maybe.
Probably can. Pango is probably enough here, and no tombstone, no black hole for that fight. Mickey just controlling them on that cliff, on that choke point, absolutely beautifully. Sets up the whole engagement. Once again, Thunder salvaging something at the very end with some nice play to claim at least some kills, but that's Aegis to Zai, which is huge because, as we said, he runs out of mana. Maybe you don't want to kill him. He comes back a second time with full resources. Your BKBs are gone. We see there, once your BKBs are out, that Lesh is going to melt you. The Liquid claiming decent control over this game. They're going to continue to scale through all their cores. Pango working towards that Basher. Matumba taking a backseat to his other two cores in this one, but there's a carry player in the world who's happy to do that to get the win. It's probably this man.
Can we take a peek into the late game? What does that look like in a matchup like this? Because you said you just don't think this is going to go the distance, right? So what does that distance look like exactly for both sides? I mean, do you feel like one team or the other has a stronger late game? We're going to take a peek into this Roche fight.
I have Martin. On the Martin. I got a big roll. I got a big roll in the backline. Come on in. You're here. Let me stay next to me. Stay next to me. Yeah. Gonna come out soon, yeah? Yeah. Can we get the punch?
Ember on me actually. I can't. I'm punching him.
I got a freeze. Yeah, so right here, left side. He fucked up.
Dire's top tower.
The chaos of a team fight in a game 3. Call your targets and hope for the best.
Yeah, Mickey, look at the backline. Look at the backline. He hit that entrance. He said everybody just follow up. Liquid did a pretty decent job. But Tubman, man, it was actually the hook that hit him and the idol that finished him up. That had to feel real bad.
The slight missed a little, but the right clicks always accurate. Now Liquid trying to push a tier 2. Get that outpost control. Talking about that late game. This is a scary late game, man. I feel like if this does go late, it's pretty hard to know who wins. The black hole becomes very strong, especially if you land it on Pango. He's kind of the only black hole break. Already Basher online. But of course, a lot of these late games I've seen with Pangolier, this hero's just an absolute beast. So hard to shut down. There is no direct counter in terms of rupture or something like that.
Yeah.
Pudge does not do amazing in super long engagements where he's getting abused in the physical armor department. You kind of have to get to this 5 or 6 slot territory where you have Shivas and you can last through a bunch of damage. It might get to that point. But I think Liquid is comfortable scaling here for the foreseeable future, especially with Roshan control.
Nice force. The other side, but Panda, you can only do so much here, my friend. And he'll be run down 19-21. Pretty even game net worth wise, but Liquid does feel like they have a bit more control of the game, especially with that Aegis and for Zai. Big offlaner of Team Liquid is perhaps, well, he is the biggest hero in the game with the highest net worth.
Yeah, he's the carry now.
Yeah.
One wild card we have to keep track of is, I mean, Marcy is Marcy, right?
Sure.
And Matthew's done a pretty decent job finding net worth on this map. Almost a BKB. This hero does become a decent X factor when you get to that BKB. You get to BKB Basher, starts solo killing cores out of nowhere. Can give you some extra right-click carry potential, which their lineup desperately needs if this is going to go late. You can sidekick to Ember, but no one's really manning up into the Lifestealer through Rage outside of Black Hole.
Right.
This is also BKB coming out for Enigma, so this is another big window for Thunder. In theory, an uncancelable Black Hole, as long as you don't get bashed.
Yeah, that is going to be the big question. Do you think he puts extra effort to grabbing the Pango in the Black Hole, but at the same time, like, you have to stop his Lifestealer from eating your Pudge? It's going to be hard for Sacred. He's going to have a hard time choosing what his targets are going to be with his Black Hole. A Dream, of course, would be getting both of them.
Oh, if you can just grab all 5, that sounds pretty good.
Easy.
Flip side is if Liquid can ever see Enigma and jump him, it's the Dream.
Go for the invest, they go for the initiation. They're going to try and chain set up Dark Mago, but he gets off the slide and he jumps away. Oh, and the snowball's going to pull Boxy into an awkward. Oh, it's not just him, it's Zai as well. Up right next to the tier 2. The Tombstone's out, and Liquid, they have to retreat. That was a very dangerous position to be in. Fortunately, there was no like Pudge hook or anything to drag him in even deeper.
Yeah, because has Blink, he can reposition and hook some of these heroes very deep. Again, Thunder has spells they want to anchor the fight around. You pull them in, you have to fight into that Tombstone. It gets a bit scary. Still Aegis up for 15 there, so Zai might have been okay, but now it's wearing out. He has a blink of his own, just going full scale build. Full carry, blink, hex, bloodstone, Leshrac. We've seen this a bunch of times.
It's like, Mickey, yeah, it looked pretty fun when you were doing it.
I think he's asking him what his item build was.
Could be. Need a little advice.
Maybe they're asking each other. That's teamwork, baby.
That is. 5-man smoke up. A haste rune for Mago. Now,
nice little rune.
We've talked about how they got this fresh BKB black hole opportunity. This could be where Thunder turns around some of the momentum in this game. But it looks like they just didn't really find anything. Liquid playing the opposite side of the map, and it's becoming more and more obvious about this play with the tier 3 being hit by creeps. So
they're not losing too much out on the map. That's the upside for Thunder here. It does feel like they're on the back foot. They're getting to their BKBs, the ones up on Matthew. They have this plate mail up on their Pudge now. A lot of EHP going his way. And like you said, haste rune, BKB on Dark Mago.
Radiant's bottom tower
They feel what I feel. It's time to try and make another play. Find something on this map. This smoke fails, you can't help but feel like you're just going to the next Roshan.
Yeah, they just double smoked, right? This is a must-have.
Boxy just breaks it.
Boxy breaks it, and
has a snowball.
Has a snowball over to the side. We'll try and blink away afterwards. There's going to be the Rapto instantly canceling it, but at the same time, the rest of the team, well, they're kind of here, but they're kind of not. Oh, what a snag from Bakaz.
Come to the big man.
2 supports down on the side of Liquid. But I call it at that. Thunder, we'll see what they can do with this, if they can take some sort of map control. I mean, we also got to start setting up for Roshan soon, too.
Yeah, that's what these smokes are for, right? You get the kills, it means you can transition into map control somewhere else. You're just gearing up for this Roshan. You really want it if you're both sides. You just decide your fate at this tournament. It's going to be hard to fight around the pit in a way for both teams, right? You have to keep in mind this Pangolier. You get stuck on the pit versus the Bashes versus the Rolling Thunder, you're in big trouble. On the flip side, you have Tombstone and Black Hole. You don't want to commit and clump versus lineup ever in this game.
Yeah.
It's a deadly area for both teams. That's why positioning vision means everything right now, and every bit of survivability you can get. The one upside is Dire always has that Dire outpost with buybacks. And buybacks versus Enigma, powerful as well. Something Liquid might think about in this game.
Oh, they see Zai. And Aegis, they're going to go for him, see if they can get the hook off of the change, or they just blink forward Dismember. Now, he did get off the BKB. It'll shrug off a lot of the damage, but the Bloodstone is still on cooldown. He needs some help. He needs a bailout. Boxy is there to pick him into the snowball. They've also got Matumba Man to perhaps be able to get the infest, but it's just grouping up, and that is going to be one down, but they managed to get the blink away. Dark Mago still chasing after, and they managed to get a beautiful black hole under the 2. It's exactly what they wanted. The Pango and the Life Stealer. Mickey rolls it up. Oh, shield crash on the side. They have to try and run away. Zai's gonna fight back in. Look at the damage coming out for this slight, and almost cuts down Zai, but he's eating through with the Bloodstone. He's healing up. He's almost back to full. He's unstoppable in this team fight. He's running through hero after hero. It's the Split Earth as well. You're going nowhere, Mago. He falls as well. Zai here to carry this game. They built this lineup around him, and he's going to try and cement their way into the finals, into the stadium for Liquid.
Zai putting on every single trick in the book, man. He gets the blink out of the snowball, resets to the back line, forces Dark Mago to chase him super deep, and then ends up dealing the most damage, hitting the beautiful Split Earth at the end. 8,400 damage coming out from this Leshrac. No one was even close. It's a one-man wrecking crew, it feels like. I mean, remember how this fight started. It was him getting caught.
Yep.
Liquid has to try and bail him out. It's only right that in the end he comes back.
It's true. He put them in this nasty position. Yep. He's the one who carries the fight in the end. Big shout out to Boxy there for being able to get that save. But I mean, I thought it was over right here. Sacred hitting. We said it goes down. We said the ideal scenario is stopping the Basher hero and catching the Life Stealer. Sacred did what he needed to do.
And it was an amazing ult from him. And this damage coming out was insane. But look at how much this Leshrac heals. There's no BKBs at this point. Yeah. He is mopping them up.
So much damage from that Ember Spirit. He had that fresh pickup of the level 20 talent, which is a huge increase in the slight and why he was doing so much. Oh yeah, the Paladin Sword with the Bloodstone. That's
extra
that might have made the extra difference.
Now aggressive smoke on their own. Blink Hex on this Lesh. He's going to blink on anybody.
Blink side straight into Mago. That's what they wanted. The Ember Spirit is down first, and they're going to be able to get the Marcy on top of that. And look at Mickey rolling through the back line. He caught the Marcy. He'll get Panda Moo too. 3 dead, and Liquid very well set up for Roshan. It hasn't actually spawned yet though, so fortunately for Thunder, they will have an opportunity to contest.
They have the opportunity. They're not going to have the vision. Now they're going to have to trek back out there, and because maybe in trouble.
Oh, this is a little awkward.
Nice
He's going to
blink.
get the blink away before the rest of Liquid is here, and he's going to go for the hook back in. They're trying to drag Liquid into this nasty situation with all these buybacks. They're going to give up Foxy. Can the rest of Liquid get out? Matamba Man got caught. He doesn't have the defense. He couldn't jump into anybody besides going for it. He just jumps right into the entire enemy team with his BKB Bloodstone, but now it's run out. Now he's been dismembered. Now he's stuck on top of the Undying. The undead duo of Panda Move because will finally bring him down.
So again, anchoring that fight deep. It's just a death sentence for Liquid. Of course, that was triple buyback from Thunder, but if they get Roche off it, you have to feel like that's worth it because they were in no position to get Tesset. Maybe the bait of Pakaz's life there, just dismembering, blinks out before the damage is done. I mean, the amount of small plays in this game is absolutely ridiculous. Suddenly, that Roshan that felt like it was going to be Liquid's for sure goes the other way. This is just disgusting, this bait.
This play, the hook back in. Matamba Man has blown his rage. The buybacks come into play. They say, this is our chance. This is our opportunity. We don't have vision around Roche, but we can play around our tier 2.
I mean, it's just a crazy play call, right? You don't even have Black Hole in this fight.
Yeah.
Like, Liquid can just back off there, and you're wasting an Ember buyback. They don't get anything out of this engagement. But the bait works. Sometimes they bite, and triple buyback is expensive, but Roshan happy to collect the fee.
The risk taken to seek the rewards, and they got a big one in that Aegis pickup, plus the shard. So Thunder, even in a game 3, no playing conservatively. They're playing to win right now. They are willing to take those risks in order to get to that top 4 position. Mickey now with an Abyssal Blade. Big pickup, but the Shivas on Bakaz is another huge one.
Yeah.
That'll help a lot against the damage of that Lifestealer, who has had a precipitous fall in the net worth chart. Look at him, he's bottom of all the cores.
It's a product of the 2 other carries in this game taking all the net worth away from him.
Yeah.
They definitely rewarded the team with the amount of damage they've outputted, but of course, Matamba has had to take a step back, and in some ways, he is the big pudge killer. So if he's down there, Bakaz is up at the top. You have to think about who's going to answer this pudge with Shivas and Blastrig on him.
Thunder on the hunt.
Got a lot of
run
armor.
to the Crystal Maiden first.
Vision down. See everything.
Catch him. Matamba Man. Oh, they pass off the gem, but don't let him get away. They caught him. Pull him back in. Matamba Man, they do manage to get the bash, but there's the black hole. Taker with the follow-up and an extra one. Mickey jumps into it. 3 dead. Roll up. Actually, Mickey trying to get away. The last light is coming in. Is it going to be enough? Another hook. Dodge to the side. Bumps into the wall, though. He can't blink away. It's going to run out soon. He does not. Shield crack, blink out, but no. It's stopped by Dark Mago. Mickey falls. 4 dead on the side of Team Liquid. What a jump in. They were so desperate to save that gem that in the end, they get caught in another bad team fight.
No BKB got off for Lesh there. Matamba gets caught. Mickey tries to blink in an Abyssal to salvage that fight with canceling the black hole, but the range is not there, and the aggressiveness from Thunder paying dividends in this late game. Bakaz has absolutely no fear, just goes in, hooks Matamba back, says, "You're mine, son."
Look at that, Sacred, just a beautiful follow-up.
Asks man to deliver on Enigma, and he does it every single time. Just 2 or 3 man holds the entire game. You cannot ask for anything better. Has the vision, has the tombstone to help him out. And of course, his 2 other frontliners making it easy for him. Liquid caught off guard, and they're going to pay a heavy price here.
Oh yeah, that's going to be tier 3. That's going to be perhaps a full lane of barracks.
What does a barracks mean though, Cap? What does a barracks mean in this series? Absolutely nothing in my book.
That's true.
We had a lot of them down game 1, and that didn't do shit, so we're still here.
That is true. It's going to be Team Liquid's, it's going to be their turn to be playing off the back foot and see how they're able to fare against this pressure. Still 2 minutes left on the Aegis with the mid lane down.
A lot of items coming out for Thunder after that fight. The Octarine was completed on Enigma, so his black hole's lower cooldown, and of course Marcy working towards that Basher. That's where the fight just becomes even harder for Matamba.
Yeah.
Like, now you have the one punch wonder coming in and destroying your BKB duration. So annoying. On top of that, Bakaz continuing to scale. He's pushing towards a Lincoln's. Just buying out here. No fear, no requirement for buyback.
A tool to
of course, Dark Mago got a shard out of that. Arcane Rune just popped, level 23.
Regen raise, but Zai finds the initiation. Marcy, that's going to be the first one down, but it's just a support. Thunder, they can either retreat and call it quits here.
No shard latch.
Yeah.
Nice find by Liquid, trying to deny them that rune control. We'll give them a window to continue farming here. And I was thinking about it, but Mikke is going to go for that Aether Lens. So his big play, blink in, Abyssal the Enigma with the extra range.
Yeah, but isn't Sacred already, he's already countering that. He's trying to build up the Linkens.
And he's trying to, but he's not there yet, right?
It's true, yeah.
Pakaz is closer. Maybe he throws it on his buddy here.
Oh, that is going to be super interesting dynamic. Of course, it'll also mean he could build into a full-out Octarine on the Pango at some point, but just this small little window could be so key. I mean,
the Infest jump from Liquid is how they want to fight, right?
Yeah.
You Infest the less he jumps, you hex somebody, you go on him. The problem is some of these saves are starting to come out. Like, you can rebound dispose, you can blink black hole to cover them, but more importantly, because he has blink, Linkens, and the shard on Pudge. He can blink eat somebody. Suddenly your initiation goes away, and he's just BKB there, EU instead, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, game favorability, I'd say it does favor Thunder pretty heavily at this point. They have a lot of tools to deal with the Liquid initiation, and they are ramping up in the scale department. Aeon Disc on Dark Mago as well. These jumps are just becoming harder and harder. And who's actually going to win these late game man fights? Again, like you were saying, Matumba's just on catch-up duty this whole game. I don't think he has the firepower to stand there and man fight Marcy and Pudge and Black Hole.
Yeah, there is a lot of problems for him when it was supposed to be a game for Lifestealer to carry. Instead, it turned into a game for Leshrac to carry. That's who they're currently playing around right now. They're looking for another opportunity, another initiation, another opportunity. But he got the BKB. Turn around, Black Hole.
It's a disaster.
Oh, Liquid, what have you done? Instantly, the two carries of the game gone. And the chains. Dark Mago with the +1. Reel him back in with the hook, baby. 3 dead on Liquid. Thunder, Thunder, Thunder. They're beginning to feel it now. They're beginning to feel a series cooking up to their advantage. 8,000 net worth lead. They can run down this side lanes. They can force some buybacks even.
11 years in the making for this game right here for South American Dota. And that tree line did him all the favors, man. I think Zai lost vision around the fog just for that second, which is long enough for Sacred to get his BKB off. Imagine that ward still on the high ground. Oh, he just didn't get him in time. And Pakaz was right there throwing the Lincoln, so he's aware of this play. A game of inches. That is Dota 2. And it's another botched initiation that's just going to cost Liquid dearly here. Another lane of racks. They have the tier 2 top, so no chance for Megas. Up in 20. But Thunder are in full control of this game. And it doesn't look like it's getting much easier. Again, the net worth is just not there on your Lifestealer. It's coming down to these clutch jumps from Zai, but he's running out of gas. And the levels are just pouring in for Thunder after all these engagements. Level 25 on this Ember Spirit. He's debating what he wants to go here. But if Ags is on the horizon, both these talents seem pretty juicy.
Avery, I can't help but thinking back to that Secret Mineski series. Another series where there was a Mega Creeps comeback. And Mineski, they lost that game 1. But they go on to win game 2, and it's one of those great what-ifs of Dota 2. It's like, what if they managed to just close out that game 1? They 2-0 Team Secret. What an incredible play. And I have to wonder, in a game 3 like this, if that starts worming into your head, if we had just closed out that game 1, we would have moved on already. Team Liquid, there is so much stress in them right now. They're going to find another pickoff here. It's going to be Insania dying first, but there is a Rolling Thunder on out there, trying to hit some of the backline. Nobody's there to follow it up, though. I think Mikke is probably just going to, well, he's going to have to reset here.
This is awkward.
Yeah, he's going back into them. Starts blinking away to the side. It's because they actually have Zai out here as well. But Thunder, they're closing in. They are going to be able to catch up here. The BKB goes out from Mikke. Zai, he's going to pop that side. He's trying to stop that Dismember. They need the bashes. They need to be able to stop Sacred as well. Sacred, they spot him. They need a bash, and they get it. Oh, a desperate bash. He immediately buys back, though. Now it's Liquid. They got to reset this one somehow, because otherwise Sacred's going to come in with the game-ending Black Hole. They're rolling Thunder on through. Pakaz snatches up Insania. That's going to be a die back there. But Tumba Man sticking staying on top of the Pudge as best as possible. Zai, they're going to try and chase down this Pudge. Sacred's not here yet to bail him out. It's Liquid finishing up the heroes of Thunder. The buybacks are going to be potentially completely wasted here for Thunder.
I did not think that was a fight for Liquid, but Thunder just got split on target prioritization, and of course no black hole for this Enigma. He had a chance to throw it, but the jump from Zai, too good that time. Able to finish him off before it comes out. Double buyback for Thunder, Enigma and Marcy.
Now they're looking for more. Immediate buybacks. Oh, that is everybody. What a use to neutralize. It puts him away. It stops the stun. Matthew is... Oh, no. He's not going to be able to get out. Boxy is stuck here. He does what damage he can. Zai's actually trying to follow it up, but they don't want to go for an undying. That's not the hero. Oh, black hole. They win. Oh, no. Sacred. He thought he had Mickey to pistol lane on through. They're going for Zai. He's dead. Finished out. Bakaz found his victim. Sacred's getting finished off by him, but Tubman at the same time. Two offlaners dead. Mickey, BKB, but a bash is going to stop him. You're not getting away from Marcy. A swashbuckle over the side, but Marcy sticks to it. Another hook land from Bakaz, and that Mickey down means Thunder are going to be able to turn their attention over to the Roshan. Liquid.
All the buybacks, so aggressive from Thunder in this game, making it work. Another Roshan going their way. And Bakaz hitting level 25, hitting more flesh heaps. This guy's got 84 bonus strength in the pocket, pushing 5,000 HP. He is a killer. And he wants that top 4 berth. Another game which hinges on the edge here. Very little buybacks for both teams. Only the Pangolier, but of course, Roshan down, and that is a refresher shard going Thunder's way. I think they would have preferred the Ags.
Do you? I mean, they've got an Enigma, but maybe just one black hole was always going to be good enough.
I feel like Ags on this Ember is pretty disgusting, but of course, refresher shard for Enigma. You're never going to refuse it. And I mean, we see Liquid. They have done an amazing job making this game hard for Sacred. That last fight, black hole on nothing. That's the pressure. He's getting jumped. He's getting forced around. It's the most you can do in this type of situation. And you got 5 buybacks out of Thunder. I'm getting flashbacks to game 1, man, where...
Oh, boy. Don't you dare say it. Don't you dare say it, Avery.
I mean, no buybacks, you know? Something goes wrong here. It only takes one jump, one team type from Liquid.
Yes.
Thunder in control, very confident, but at the same time, how bold are they, right? Do they want to take a fight before those buybacks come back up?
Yeah.
Dark Mago can farm his here, and that's a big deal because he can just go in front line, use it, buyback, come instantly in with the Remnant. So that's probably the best hero to have the buyback up on. I mean, he's swapping so many items in his backpack, he doesn't even have the slots. And of course, Aeon discs galore for this Thunder team. Sacred has his, he can assemble it at any time. Refresher shard pass to him as well. We are hitting late game territory with an Enigma with many ults. And Liquid stuck in a base defense situation. They can find the jump. They can still win this game.
So one crucial play we have to outline here. Sacred has an unlocked Aeon disc.
He does.
In his backpack. So if they try and focus him down, they jump on top and get the bash, go, kill this Enigma. If he pops in that Aeon disc, it's a huge opportunity to turn around and get the black hole. It doesn't matter if you're doing damage, just the control is going to be enough.
Absolutely. And remember, Bakaz can blink, dismember any of his teammates at any point. He has Aegis on top of himself as well. Refresher in the backpack. There's just so much net worth on this Thunder team. A lot of it is in these weird items, but they actually passed the Refresher shard back to Marcy over here. I mean, honestly, double ult, double BKB.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. Maybe they just don't want to put all their eggs in this Enigma basket.
That's fair enough.
Can't blame him, because you know Liquid is thinking about him. Every fight, find the Enigma, find the Enigma. That is the way to victory. Last lane here. We're going to see another mega creep situation. How blessed are we today?
It's such a scary position for Thunder, who are the ones making the shot here. They're making the call. They do not have the buybacks, but they do have an Aegis. They have this overwhelming advantage for the next team fight. But if they stumble here just before the finish line, it could be all over so quickly. Dark Mago jumps forward.
But Tumba bought out. He bought out for AC. He is short buyback, 400 gold.
Oh, there's the hook. The first snap. They're trying to deal with this ward, and it ends up getting a freebie. Now it's a 4 versus 5, 4 versus 6 with the Aegis.
Mickey.
Rolling Thunder, here it comes. Mickey leading off the charge.
Gotta make it count. Zai getting past.
Matthew on in.
He got bashed on the jump.
Immediately the bash going in. as well, but the BKB, it's running out. Now he's got the black hole, but he got bashed again. Oh, that's going to be a dive back, and Pagaz is in so deep, but Tumbin Man needs it out. His rage was running thin, so he invests inside of Zai, but now Zai's in trouble. He's being focused down, and Tumbin Man pops right back out. They have the refresher, and that is going to be enough to be able to finish off a Tumbin Man, but he doesn't have the buyback. Foxy, he's going in. Zai, the second life for him. Get back to the fountain, the Havoc Hammer pushing him away. Pagaz running him down. The Bloodstone gets Zai, gets the kill. Rampage on the mid stage, but because Tumbin got the buyback, he's going to die once. Nobody else. It's just Dark Mongo. It's just because a 2-on-2. 2 cores. A blink away. The Rolling Thunder doesn't land. Can they escape? Does Liquid want to pursue? Do they have to? Insania now joining in with them. Dark Mongo's going to try and deal with him where he can. The freezing field going out with the Suns. It's actually doing so much damage with Tumbin with the bashes. Mickey as well. One fall. The other to follow. No buybacks. Team Liquid. They hold again.
What the fuck are these games, man? I have no idea. These games are absolutely bonkers. Thunder have no buybacks. Is this a throne situation for Liquid?
Can they do it?
Just walk it down mid.
Walk down mid lane, A-click the throne. Are Liquid going to be able to do it fast enough?
You know what? Tumbo was like 100 gold off buyback in that fight.
Yes.
And he got it up as Pagaz is in the base, melting them all. You cannot ask for anything closer. So many of those fights too. Sacred blinked in and got insta-bash first hit. Then he got abyssal bashed off the swashbuckle. The Dota gods did not want that black hole going off. And it might just pay the final price here for Thunder in their upper bracket.
Avery, you said
bracket.
A little luck
I don't even know what bracket.
Goes a long way.
A little luck is a pretty good strategy in this game. Black hole up in 9. It's got to be the one of a lifetime. They still have Glyph.
Okay, we have Glyphs.
How much does Liquid want to push it?
He's going to heal up as much as possible. Black hole ready to go. You have this Marcy who does a ton of damage. We talked about how much farm Matthew is getting. Can he, with Sacred, stop this? Or can they delay stall enough for the rest of the team to show up? And the Undying's going to be here. I think this is going to have to be a
Remember, they get another Glyph here, too.
If they don't go soon, though, it's going to be the Leshrac joining them as well, a 3-on-5.
This is a hard fight. You have to pick your jump well. You have to hit cores with the hole.
Sacred goes for it. Immediately the black hole. They're just going to focus all in onto Mickey, and it looks like maybe they got him down. No, he is all over the side. Swatch will go over the Rolling Thunder on through them. Mickey surviving through it, and now the Marcy dies, and now they get the stun on the Sacred. Now he's dead as well. 12 seconds. How much can you get in 12 seconds, Liquid? Can you claim top 4 in 5? It's not going to happen. The throne's not dying fast enough.
Dark Mongo's up in 2.
We just killed him.
Punch him in 1.
Jump back in. Now the buybacks. Now the comeback through.
For your
the
life.
throw die fast. 1,000 health. Trying to finish up.
Absolutely insane from Liquid.
Can you believe it? A tragedy. A triumph. A curse. A miracle. Call it what you want. But it is Team Liquid taking top 4. Team Liquid is going to the finals of the International.
Going to the finals. They still got some ways to go, but they are going to that final weekend. I mean, how many carries does it take to break this Thunder team? You have to give it to them. Pagaz might be the best carry in the world right now, but Team Liquid just playing on another level in these end games. Every single little thing seemed like it was going their way down the clutch.
Oh my God.
What is there to say about a series like that?
There's so much emotion here from Team Liquid celebrating their victory to Thunder. Oh, Thunder, a top 4 was so close. It was in their grasp. What an incredible game. What an incredible series. Respect to both the competitors for just an outrageous series. Team Liquid.
Buybacks. No buybacks. Sometimes that's what Dota comes down to. Sometimes a little luck too, you know? I'm starting to believe in that spirit mantra a little bit more every game at this tournament. Some of those bashes, some of those hits, man. You're going to be thinking about those years later from now. Yeah. But Team Liquid, they're not going to be thinking about them for too long because, of course, they do get the rest days to go into that final playoff bracket, like you said. My God, the momentum this team has. The amount of times they've been pushed to the brink, from LCQ to this, to Game 1 Mega Creep losing, to Game 3 on the edge.
Incredible, incredible series. Team Liquid will move on. I'll just leave you with this. Dota is a goddamn beautiful game. Love it.
Nothing better in the world.
Whew. All right, it's about time to kick things off to our panel. Wrap up this series.
Thank you very much, Cap and SVG. As you can see there, Matu, the Finnish warrior, he was fighting last moments to defend the base with Mickey, and then even when Mickey got jumped, he infested him, saved Mickey, and it was able to turn that fight and move forward. What a wonderful game for Team Liquid. Unbelievable, guys.
It's just so poetic. You know, you think about Liquid in game 1, they're losing in this style. They go to game 3, it looks like Thunder's going to be winning. They kind of throw away some buybacks at the very end, but they run it down mid. They're all like hitting the... oh, God, I don't know. That is just an incredible series. I feel kind of bad for Thunder Awaken to be losing it after all that, but for Liquid to keep up their might and then be able to convert at the very end, and how emotional you saw Blitz, the coach, crying at the very end as well. Like his emotions, I don't know. I'm speechless.
What kind of energy is even carrying them any longer? Like, what is this?
It's better retirement, guys, please.
Yeah. I got so emotional watching that game. It's like, it's so exciting. There's so many, it's just going back and forth. I'm like, oh yeah, they have the refresher orbs and this Enigma double black hole. Like, there's so many ways for them to end this game. It's looking worse. They get the Aegis, like everything's stacking up against Liquid, and somehow they just pull out that magic. They get the pickup, they find the jump, they look for the Enigma. Every single fight, one thing on their mind, find Enigma, stop him from black holing. And when they were able to, magic happened.
And it looked so clean from TA up to that point, up to the push next to the fountain. It looked like, yeah, if we kill this Slash, the game is almost over. Then, not really. You get one buyback, you get two, you get Matumba Man just going crazy after that pudge. Top lane fight as well. All up to that point, I thought that TA, they're in complete control.
Thunder Awaken, they had such incredible games. You know, Dark Margo with like 20 kills, 7 deaths, 18 assists. You know, you have
a rampage as well.
Yeah, Pakal just gets a rampage at the very end. Like, he's hitting over like 70% hook accuracy in the final game with best of 3, lower bracket. Like, they're just having incredible games. It's just when you get to this point, when the game gets so chaotic, be it game 1, be it game 3, it's respecting the buybacks, understanding your limits, and both teams demonstrated that. They kind of get so excited to try and go for that end that they then unfortunately don't have the resources to take the fight after. And you see here,
yeah, that previous fight is when I think we all thought Thunder Awaken were going to be able to close out this game, and this fight here, as you can see, Dark Mago gets his on his rampage, but now it's Matumba Man and Mickey to actually defend. And Insania also comes out on his Crystal Maiden, throws down a wonderful freezing field. There's Insania. Mickey's like, we just did it. And even walking off stage, you know, I saw Matumba Man look over the box and just shake his head. And he was like, I don't believe it. Boxy just looks back and shakes his head as well, and they just keep walking. So like, how did we win? And I somewhat think that even Thunder Awaken think, how did they win? Because everybody played amazing from both teams.
100%.
For better or worse, emotions just get the better of you in these situations. At some point, you're just on full autopilot. You don't know exactly what's happening there. You could see Insania, he's just screaming. The fights are so hectic. Like, at one point, you could see Matumba Man running back to the Crystal Maiden just to carry the gem, just to take the gem. They lose that fight, and that's when it looked really grim.
And don't worry, by the way, even though it says Matumba Man in last match, that was previous match. He's got more to play because he's not retired.
Thank God for that, man. He lives to see another day.